Hi everyone, Ed Griffin here from the Dublin City Council Starbucks, IBA Starbucks programme. We're here with Michael Carruth. Michael's a former Olympic champion, and we're going to have a chat to Michael about how he got started in boxing and his career to date and his coaching career. So hi Michael, thanks for
being here. Hi Ed, how are you?
Can you just tell us about how you got involved in boxing, the first day you walked into the club?
Well, boxing was always in my family. My father boxed for St Francis Boxing Club in Rushden. And my mother's father was the chairman of the club, Martin Humpson.
Right.
And my dad used to get down to the club with my mother's brothers. Now, he wasn't going out with my mother at that time, you know. Right. So Martin Humpson would have been, is my uncle, Martin. He won the light middleweight championship back in 1951.
Okay.
It was the first ever light middleweight championship. So all our lives we lived up to that kind of stigmata.
Right, so there was a history of boxing.
Who he was and what it was about, you know, and yeah, and they were from there, Rushden, in around that area. My mum was from the Liberties, my dad originally from Carruth, so they moved to Green Hills a few years later, and Green Hills Boxing Club was founded by my dad and the late John Whitehead and some other great people.
So what old would you be when you started boxing, when the first day you walked into a club?
When I went into Green Hills, I was just gone past my 7th birthday.
Right, quite young.
Myself, Martin and William were two with our triple brothers. Yeah?
Right, okay.
My brother Austin already was in the club.
Right.
Our older brother Austin. And it started from there, 7 years old. About 5 or 6 months later, there was a boxing show on in the boxing club in Green Hills. And I got talking to this young lad from the Nor Boxing Club, and he was the same size as me, he was the same weight as me, he never boxed.
Right.
So I kind of made my own first fight.
Well, say the first time you walked into the club, like I know a lot of kids that we deal with in the schools, they might be unsure of going into a club because their nerves could be intimidated. Did you?
I didn't really, because I was lucky as well. I had Martin and William with me, so the three of us were there, and my father was the head coach, you know. So yeah. I didn't have that.
But did you ever doubt yourself when you're trying to learn a stance?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like my dad taught me how to fight orthodox, and every time he turned around, I went back to southpaw. You know?
Okay.
And we'll explain what southpaw orthodox is to people later on. But every time he turned back, I went back to southpaw.
Right, okay. Yeah.
And then he just lost his raising with me. He just like stay as a southpaw.
Yeah, very good.
So I reckon it was his best ever coaching. Yeah. So we weren't too much with the, you know, you can see young kids coming into clubs and they can feel pressurised and they can feel a little bit, you know, antagonised, or, you know, even, you know, that they're feeling a bit, you know, well, what the hell am I let myself in for here? You know what I mean? So, and what we do in this club in Drimba is that when a new kid comes into the club, we get some of the older guys, even into the same age category, introduce them to all the guys and start learning names. And once you start learning names, you're part of the game.
So say moving off and starting in the club then, just talk us through what it felt like. We'll say the Dublin Leagues is probably the most famous league competition in Ireland. Yeah. So like, say your first ever competitive fight in the leagues, how did you feel about that? And do you remember who it was?
Firstly, no, I don't remember who my first fight in the leagues was. I do remember being very nervous and anxious because you were going down to the National Stadium. Yeah. And a lot of the leagues were held in the big stadium and not in the Ringside Club. You know? Okay. So mine was actually held in the Ringside Club. Was my first, but it was still a bigger ring than I was used to. It was still a bigger venue than I was used to. You know. Yeah. And obviously there was people there. You know. Yeah. And when you're in your own club, you have your own people, but when there's other people there looking at you, you feel a little bit more nervous, I suppose. And but I got through. I got through my first fight. I won my first leagues, you know, and happy days.
And then you went on to what most boxers in Dublin would progress on to after the leagues, junior leagues, would be the county Dublins, which would be the entry to the All Ireland Championships.
And again, county Dublins is, you know, again, it's like some of the same people you've already boxed, and I did. Anybody that boxed in the leagues pretty much weighed in for the same weight category in the county Dublins.
Yeah. Was there any great rivals there from?
Not at the start. I was kind of
I'd say as you progressed through up to like U2 and.
Well, the biggest rivals were my brothers because we were always getting in the same weight category, you know? And we really had to stay out. We had to stay out of one of those weight category, and because my mum would never let the three of us fight one another. Yeah. You know, two fighting the other, you know. So you know there wasn't any great rivalry then. Obviously, when you get a little bit older in the leagues, then you start knowing, you know, who's bad. And more so important to the county Dublins, you know, that you have to win your county Dublins to go through to the All Irelands, you know. So. And
what age would you be when you won your first youth or juvenile All Ireland?
Well, my first I won my first one at 12 years old. Okay. I was beaten in my first final, All-Ireland final, by one. And
how did that feel?
Terrible. I hated it, you know, because I was on a great run at the time as well. I hadn't been beaten, you know what I mean? I'd been losing the first, and to be honest, I honestly thought I won it, you know, and a lot of people did as well. But it makes you hungrier again to come back the next year and get it. And I did. The next year I came back and I won my first All-Ireland title, which was
unbelievable.
It's the biggest. It's bigger than anything, you know what I mean? Winning your first All-Ireland is just unreal. You know?
So come here, tell us, moving from, I find it just even around boxing and stuff like that, I find it there's a massive drop off in boxers from 16 as the leagues and the doubles finish, and there's a gap between to under 18 level.
Yeah, it's a thing we have to address really, because you know we're losing too many. It's not just your club; it's every club losing from 16 to 20 years old.
It's that age when there's other stuff coming into their life.
Yeah, remember as well, they discover girls as well. That's the worst thing about it as well. Or the girls discover boys as well. And there's temptations, you know what I mean? There's, you know, their mates going out and having a beer or so. It's obviously you have to hang around. You have to be cool sometimes, and you don't. Do what you want to do. Don't be pressurised to do what they want.
So how did you find that transition from?
Yeah, it was a little bit different for me, because like I was winning All Irelands and I was winning
the juniors then after
and everything like that. I won them all, and you know you're getting picked for trips. You know, my first trip was to Romania. For the World Junior Championships, and it didn't go well for us all in the championships. Our luggage was lost. Right. I honestly, I'm not messing with you. Do you know the ice hockey shorts?
Yeah.
I had to wear a pair of them. Right.
Okay,
We had one gun shield between 6 of us. I had to keep remoulding it, and none of us boxed the ability we should have. And great Johnson Todd, God bless him, was on the team as well. I think Gordon Joyce was. He said, I can't remember all the rest, you know what I mean? But we didn't perform too good. But then it was a thing, I always remember when I was weighing in at one of the, and I think I was weighing in around featherweight, I think, at the time, you know, which is 56 kg. I remember looking at this fella, he was a kind of a Japanese guy, you know, and he was built like the Hulk, right? He had muscles on him, right? And we were only like 16 years old, or whatever the case may be. And I went, he looks like he's in my weight, I said, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden, he got on the scales, and he was a stone lighter than me.
Just looked larger, bigger, broader.
Right, he was in the flyweight category. Oh. And I said to myself, you're going to have to do something different here, I said. You're and I really was, it was a real wake-up call for me. You're going to have to do something here. Not to get muscle bound, but just in relation to, you know, get myself fit and the whole thing about it. And we did. I started doing a lot of training with Eugene Trainer, my dad's cousin, and Eugene was the head strength and conditioning coach in the club for years.
We'll say, I know it's a lot different now with the high performance unit, and we'll be speaking to Kelly Hannington and Johnny Joyce in the next few weeks about the high performance. But at the time when you were getting ready for World Championships and the Olympics, there was no such really high performance unit as such. No, we'd get some weekend training sessions, and mainly it was the sparring sessions, you know. And we all used to try to knock the crap out, remember, that's the way it was. And there was no kind of purpose to it, you know what I mean? You could be put in with a guy stone heavier than you, or he's got a stone lighter than you, and the men know. Yeah, I heard someone saying if there had been sort of a high performance setup at the time, the quality of the boxers at the time you were boxing, Ireland would have been a lot more successful.
Every decade, every era, or every decade, or whatever I'm talking there is going to say we were better than us, you know what I mean? And that's like the 56 team have not been beaten. They won 4 medals, 4 medals.
They know.
So with that, it's well then they won 4 in London as well, didn't they? So,
2 gold and silver.
And gold and silver, and so they had to say they're the best, you know. When you look at the 892 team, we were, you know, gold and silver. We had 2 in the final, and one beaten, 1 won. So, but every era would say they were the best. You know what I mean? I do believe with the calibre of boxers we had back in the mid 90s, late 80s, when you had the likes of Paul Griffin and Michael Carruth and Wayne McCullough, guys like that, you know, had things been better for us in relation to holding down jobs and trying to compete with the best boxers in the world was hard. So I'll tell you how dedicated we were and what we've done, particularly those three people, and I know I'm one of them. But I had to work harder than anybody to, you know, I didn't have the luxury of having a high performance grant, and I could just train all day and get massaged and do whatever I want, get fed, and it's only right now. And I'd like to think we were the pillars that started that, you know,
Tell me this, how have you found it through like your head coach now during the boxing club, how did you find the transition, from boxing gradually into coaching? And
I think my first year as a coach was, I tried to listen more to people than talk, you know. Right. I tried to listen, then if I didn't agree, I didn't say anything, you know. I done some really bad things wrong in relation to that. I was expecting them all to be as good as me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was expecting to, you know, I wouldn't ask anybody to do 100 press-ups if I couldn't do 100 press-ups.
Yeah.
But if I could do 100 press-ups, I'd expect you to be able to do it.
Yeah. I think Roy Keane had the same problem when he was managing.
Yeah, and I felt I was putting too much. Yes, I was putting too much. You know, like, okay, they're not me. Okay, they're not me. They're not Ryan McCullough. They're not Paul Gifford. They're them. You know, and I had to look at what they were good at, and more importantly, what they were bad at. And I think it took me about 1 or 2 years to really get control of that, and I did. Because then all of a sudden I started, you know, putting programs in place here in the room there, and it got to a stage then as well that the head coach was gone, and I got the opportunity to take over as head coach. And my biggest belief all my life was that if you're fit, you're ready.
Yeah.
If you're fit, your mind is fit. If your mind's fit, you're definitely ready. You know? So mentally and physically, once you're physically fit, your mental capability is even better again. And I always felt that if I'm 100% getting into the ring, I can beat anybody. That was my belief. Yeah. And I try to put that into everybody's belief here in the club. You know, it's our motto: we train hard, we fight easy.
Yeah, tell me this. I'm going to ask just 2 more questions. Just about when you give everybody an experience or a flavour of what was like in the Olympic Village in Barcelona.
The Olympic Village was great because, you know, when you're thinking about the Olympic Village, all of a sudden somebody like Carruth could walk by, you know, and or anybody that's big and great, you know what I mean? And I suppose Barcelona was good for me for the sense I'd already done an Olympic Games. So I'd won in the bag in 1988, and I was that getting autographs and photographs and getting distracted, you know. And myself and Wayne McCullough were the only 2 boxers who were the surviving members of the 88 team to go to the 92 team. So we didn't have to do all that, you know. All the others did, you know. So it was a distraction, and you know, I always remember that. I can't think of his name. He was the 400-meter hurdles champion from America.
Ed Moses, no? Was he there?
Ed Moses. It was Moses, yeah. And he was walking by our apartment every day in Barcelona, and we were asking for a photograph. Yeah. And he wouldn't. No, too busy. And, and 2 or 3 days later, I won my gold, and Wayne had won a silver, and they're all taking pictures of us outside our apartment block in Barcelona, and Ed walks by, and do you want that picture? Not anymore, we don't. He said, get lost, we said to him, you know. And he reported us, you know what I mean? So, but that'll show you that. But yeah, listen, it's fairy tale. It really is. When you're in the Olympic Village and all of a sudden you're looking around and you're going, holy God. Nice to feel your skills.
Yeah, just even the different sports as well.
Absolutely, like soccer, gymnastics, you know, anything that's an Olympic sport. You know, we all eat the same.
Exactly,
in the same place.
So just tell me this, we want to sort of wrap up now. Have you had to say to maybe kids that are watching the video, if they're, especially the schools that we work with, most of the kids have never boxed, or they might not have an in there because there's no relations that are being involved in boxing.
Boxing is like any other sport. Right? The one big thing that boxing is not like any other sport, we get hit. Okay? Now, the beautiful thing about boxing is, and the art of boxing is, you hit, you throw punches and you try not to get hit. Right? So it's all about self-defense, technical and technical awareness. With boxing as well, you have to be prepared. If you're going into your maths exam and you haven't studied for it, you're in trouble. Okay? If you're going into a boxing ring and you haven't put the work in, you're in trouble. So what I would say to any kid is, the more you work at anything, the better you're going to get.
Yeah, and it's a great sport for building confidence. And
it's a great sport for, you know, meeting new friends,
and
travelling. Okay? Like, I would not have travelled any parts of the world if I wasn't a boxer, you know. I travelled the world 3 times, I reckon, you know, with all the trips I've done in relation to boxing, being a coach and being a boxer. So you get to meet some great people. You get to, to go to some really great places, but it's not going to happen for you if you don't put the work in.
So, okay, well, we're going to leave it at that. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Social distancing, we can't shake hands, but thanks very much to Michael, and we'll see you next week in another interview. Cheers.